Welcome to the 2024 AIvolution Accelerator Demo Day. AIvolution, part of the Startupbootcamp Bold 2 portfolio, is the gateway to unlocking the future. As Startupbootcamp, our goal is to empower innovators around the world. That's why we launched Bold 2, an investment portfolio of 300 impacts-focused startups across 10 different growth domains, with the goal of supporting the achievement of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by driving innovation and growth in startups across multiple sectors. Today, several emerging trends are poised to change the world. AIvolution focuses on cutting-edge AI and Web3 technologies in the areas of artificial intelligence, blockchain, Web3, decentralized autonomous organizations, predictive analytics with broad applicability across a wide range of industries, such as health tech, energy and utilities, fintech and insurtech, sports and health, mobility and logistics, edu and med, and manufacturing. Over the past 6 months, we at AIvolution have engaged with more than 1,000 AI and Web3 startups, received over 200 applications, identified 21 teams, and accelerated 10. In this first cohort, we've worked hard to accelerate 10 teams coming from all over the world through approximately 80 hours of one-to-one coaching, more than 30 meetings including masterclasses and workshops delivered by industry professionals, coaches, and entrepreneurs. Over 50 mentors actively involved in the program who met our startups in 2 dedicated events. We organized events and provided business development support by facilitating commercial openings and proofs of concept with our corporate partners. Today, you'll witness groundbreaking solutions that are set to transform the way we live and work. The future is now, and the AIvolution Accelerator is leading the way. Are you ready to embrace change and drive innovation? Welcome to the 2024 AIvolution Accelerator Demo Day.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the first Demo Day of AIvolution. We are here in Reggio Emilia, in the venue of our corporate partner Credem, to host this event in which the 10 startups will pitch their awesome idea in front of mentors, investors, and corporate partners of Startupbootcamp. But before start, I would like just to remember that the event is also recorded and is in video streaming online on YouTube. So also for the investors and mentors of Startupbootcamp remotely can see and join this event. But before to start, I would like to say thank you to Credem, that is our corporate partner that is hosting here, and I would like to call Francesca from Credem that can present the company and the venue that we are there.
Hi and welcome everybody here. Welcome into the House of Innovation of Credito Emiliano, Officina Credem. I'm Francesca Zeverino. I'm part of this team, innovation team. I'm in charge of communication and event for this very beautiful place, as you said before, Alberto. But first of all, let me thank you. I'm very excited to be here today to see all of this person here, to participate actively to this very important and meaningful event for us, because it represents for us a moment of growth and innovation. And so thank you, first of all, to you, to Startupbootcamp team. Thank you for the organization of this beautiful day. Thank you to all the partners, corporate representatives, and colleagues, innovation leaders that are here both seated and following this event in streaming. As Officina Credem, as innovation department, we have a mission. It's this one. That is for us to spread new ideas, to spread new technologies that for us are meaningful, because we hope that working together, they will turn into something practical, a practical solution that will benefit both our businesses and community as well. And this is the spirit which is at the base of Officina Credem. And as many of you know, we are a special branch of Gruppo Credem. Don't worry, I won't talk about the bank today, but these are the main representative number, just to have them at a glance. But what I want to underline is that we In continuity, as Gruppo Credem, we foster the same mission, and that is to spread innovation, to spread well-being to a benefit at large. Let me just tell a couple of words about this very beautiful place, because we find in a very special location, which is the former headquarters of Officine Meccaniche Reggiane, as you say here. And starting from 1901 till the closure of this activity, this place was a very cutting-edge place for this city, because it hosted a lot of innovation and see a lot of very different production, starting from locomotives to the aircraft during the two World War, and also agricultural machinery, as you said here. So here, let me show just a couple of photos to show you how it was in 1901 and how we found it when we come here. And that is today. This is the community which is all around this innovation park. You can find both example of public-owned and corporate community. So we try together to work every day with this partner, with these stakeholders, to transform everyday displays in a very forward-thinking place. So again, thank you for coming here, and good luck to the startups. We hope you enjoy the meeting.
Thank you very much, Francesca. Thank you, Francesca, and thank you, Credem, for hosting in this awesome location. Really, it's very awesome. And I just want to remember that AIvolution is part of BOL2 initiatives of Startup Bootcamp. And just to remind what is BOL2 initiatives and all the Startup Bootcamp programs, I would like to say to Matteo, that is the head of Southern Europe of the Acceleration of Startup Bootcamp, to present the BOL2 initiatives.
Thank you, Alberto. Good afternoon, everyone, also from my side. I'm very excited to be here with you, and I want to listen also the pitch of the startups that today will present their progress that they have during the AIvolution program. Just a few words. As Alberto said, I'm responsible for all the activities that Startup Bootcamp have in the Southern Europe. Startup Bootcamp, as you know, is a global group. We have a lot of branches all over the world. We just opened this year the branch in Brazil and also in Dubai. And we are very committed on the expansion also in the Southern Europe, but also in other countries all over the world. As Alberto mentioned, we have a lot of activities regarding a lot of startups. Our company is considered the first acceleration in Europe, considering the number, the portfolio of the startups that we accelerated during these years. As you know, in Italy we are active from 2019 from an initiative guided from Nazareno Mengoni and Al Sharapagna, and we have a lot of different verticals and domains that we cover. So we are very committed also on expanding the numbers of startups that we want to help, and we want to grow together, also with the help of our wonderful mentor community, but also our investor community. We have at the moment more than 1,600 startups at global level in our portfolio, and we analyze, and this is a huge and I think a very incredible number, more than 150,000 startups every year, considering all our acceleration program that we have at global level. BOL2 is a very interesting initiative that we launched a few years ago that we can consider innovative for two main aspects. The first one is the fact that we collect and we funded the different programs that we have in the BOL2 program in collaboration and with this framework activated with an exchange, so through the Amsterdam Stock Exchange. And so basically we collect the money that then we use to invest in the startups through the direct investment of every investor that can by themselves directly invest in a different domain that we have inside this initiative that we call BOL2. We have 10 domains, as we present in the introduction video that you saw before, where we are very committed to accelerate 10 startups per year, per 3 years of acceleration in every domain that you can see in this slide. AIvolution is the first program that we launched last year in the Bold 2 initiative, and AIvolution, in accordance with our headquarters in Amsterdam, we defined to place the first batch of acceleration here in Italy, and guided by Alberto as program director, we defined this wonderful first batch of 10 startups in the domain of AI and Web3. So AIvolution is the first domain that we activate. We are activating also the other one, depending on the funding that, as I said before, we collect through an exchange and through the Amsterdam Stock Exchange. So we place the different program depending on the region, depending on the different expertise of our teams that we have at global level. So AIvolution we define to place here in Italy. I think it's quite interesting also with the help of the ecosystem of companies that collaborate with us in this evolution also, and the connection, the strong connection of the work that the startups and the innovation that the startups can bring also to these corporates and companies. Credem and Mondadori are the two companies that are very interesting also in this domain in the AIvolution program, so they help us and they help also the startups involved in this program to develop their businesses. As you can see from this slide, this is the last things that I want to briefly underline to you, is the fact that every domain is linked to different goals, sustainability goals that the Europe have defined to reach by the 2030 to in a way solve a lot of issues that we have at global level, and specifically also in the different countries in Europe. So it's quite interesting also to underline that our objective as Startup Bootcamp is also to accelerate a lot of startups in the Bold 2 programs and reach one main goal that we have defined a few years ago. So the point to arrive to accelerate 100,000 startups by 2030 to save, in a way, the world. So through the acceleration of these startups, the growth of these businesses, we want to help to reach these goals and to potentially help this world to reach important and necessary results. So I want to thank again Alberto, and for sure also Credem to host us today in this wonderful venue. I want to wish the best luck to the startups involved in this demo day. I want to see also the progress that they have during the program. And so, please, Alberto, the stage is again yours. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Matteo. And here we are. So today you will see the pitch of our 10 startups of the first cohort that are coming from 7 different countries. There are some of them that just arrived yesterday night due to visa problem, but we will explain later, and they're just running and come here. I just repeated the pitch deck. It takes 4 minutes of pitch for each company, and in the badge that you have in front of you, for the people that is there, you will have behind a QR code. In the QR code you can see the agenda of the today's session and all the details of the startup. So I encourage you, if you want to stay in touch with company, go there, scan, and directly link with the startup, so you can join the company and also have interaction with them after the meeting. For people that are connected remotely, this link will be available directly on the chat, on the bottom right. But now I want to give the stage to the true stars of these initiatives, that are the startups. And I want to say the first startup will come directly from Nigeria and will be Gimme, and want to revolutionize the finance through blockchain. So I kindly ask to John Charles to come on the stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Dan Charles. I'm the founder of Gimme. I hold a master's degree in computer science. I previously worked with Shell Petroleum as a lead programmer for a special project that has to do with data science and machine learning to save them money in their drilling process. I was invited by Y Combinator in 2019 for an application I did build with RFID technology. In 2021, I raised $360,000 in less than 30 seconds, breaking the internet for an entertainment app I did build using blockchain. I want you to join me as we go through the Nigerian microfinance landscape. This is Danny. He likes 3 things that he does every day. He likes to take coffee, he likes the Nigerian jollof rice, and he commutes around the city. But there's a problem. Over 80% of transactions are still cash-based in Nigeria. And the ATMs only give out 2 large denomination bills, 1,000 and 500, mostly 1,000. Now he wants to pay for a coffee of just 50 naira, but he has 1,000. So he's stranded because the vendor doesn't have change. The same thing when he commutes across the city. He has to wait on the street for the cab guy to go asking his friend, do you have change for 1,000? Do you have change for 1,000? And then he has lost his appointment. So that's a major issue. And sometimes he has to pay for other people if it's a shuttle, or if he has to buy some other things that he doesn't need within the shop, making him to lose money. And that has made a lot of people lose over 60 million in total in Nigeria landscape, because they are either buying something they don't need or they are paying for people that they don't know. So we built this super app to cater for this issue of microtransactions across Nigeria. A decentralized marketplace that caters for anything microtransactions across Nigeria. We are piloting it across the over 168 university campuses in Nigeria, because these campuses have an average of about 50,000 people in these campuses, at least making 3 daily transactions. Okay, and then we make it so simple for people to send money to even the unbanked. You don't need to have a bank account. We did all of that through blockchain. The market is huge in Nigeria alone, with over 64 billion. And in university campuses, we're looking at over 2.5 billion in revenue across just university campuses. The time is now, because we have over 3.4 million people in these university campuses. And the market is ready. Our team is made up of over 20 years of experience. Each of us have run at least 3 businesses. We know what it means to lose money. We know what it means to gain money. We're going to make money through transaction fees and in-app monthly service fees. In the last 3 months, we've built our MVP. We have over 6,000 people on our wait list. We have over 50 businesses on our wait list. I, for one, have a contract with the federal government to train at least 10,000 people every year. We're plugging into all of this network. We have over 2,000 students on our network as well. In the next 3 months, we're looking at releasing our beta application and to strengthen our infrastructure to accommodate over 100,000 people, which we're looking at in the next 6 months. We're looking at for an investment of 500,000, which is going to help us to achieve our goals in the next 6 months. This is my wonderful team made up of awesome people. We have a saying in Gimme: regardless of the transaction anybody is making across Nigeria or even the African continent, we are building for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Dan Charles and his first company, Gimme. But now it's turn of the second company, still in the blockchain field, but we move in a different country, in Italy. And this is a company that wants to revolutionize the real estate documentation through blockchain. I want to say to Paola to come on the stage and describe Blockchain Re.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Paola from Blockchain Re. We offer a new standard for the digitalization and notarization of real estate documents, simple and safe. Blockchain Re is the first digital platform for the management, transfer, and of property documentation and the storage. In general, in Europe, a study commissioned by the European Union in 2021 highlighted that still most documents pertaining to real estate are available in paper format, printed on paper. And their management and availability is a problem throughout the area. What happens in Italy? In 2021, real estate agencies closed 750,000 deals for real estate, but they might have reached 200,000 more deals if only the mandatory documentation had been available. The estimated loss for these missed deals was 2 billion euros. what is the main problem of the fragmentation of the sources from documents come from. The main impact on timing necessary for deals and the very, very likely risk of losing deals. The use of our platform increases trust. It can standardize the process, and while blockchain provides safety and the proof of existence of the document, storage on the IPFS cloud makes the documents always retrievable, available forever, anytime. Our team is formed by professionals coming from very different backgrounds. We have blockchain, real estate, banking, finance, and we are adding 2 salespeople starting from October the 1st, who will likely amount to our total revenue with their activity by the end of this year to around 15,000 euros. Our platform is really user-friendly. Using it to build trust. The use of our platform can really help real estate agents to sell a new service for profit, and every party involved in a real estate transaction will be protected from scams and frauds. We can count on a number of qualified professionals in the course of our activity, and given that our platform is online, marketed, it works, and it is used and sold, this is our first customer, and it is one of the major players in the Italian market, reaching around 1,000 real estate agents in Italy. We started a test with them last May, and so far 40 NFTs have been transferred through our platform. More than 500 documents have been uploaded, and revenues with this customer will amount to about 3,000 euros by the year end. We intend to reach all the players in the real estate market. Now we are mainly focusing primarily on real estate agencies. Next steps will be banks and insurance companies. The market is really big and it is worth billions. And in the next 5 years, we plan on having at least 10% of the European real estate agents on board on our platform. Blockchain and IPFS in real estate can really help towards transitioning towards a future very important and very needed, because the real estate world has been stopped for over 30 years. Thank you for your attention, and please join us in driving innovation in the real estate world. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Paola, for this amazing pitch. And right now, we're just changing the industry and also the country. So we'll go from real estate to health tech, and we go from Italy to Azerbaijan. And the speaker, Leila, just arrived yesterday night in Italy. So it's a funny story, but he arrived around midnight and he's directly from Rome came here to have the pitch today. So welcome on stage to Leila and Icheck Medical.
Hello everyone. I'm thrilled to introduce you to Icheck. And I have a question. How many of you have ever Googled your symptoms? Please raise your hands. Impressive. And how many of you have ever how many of you went to a doctor because Google just diagnosed you with a serious illnesses, even with an ordinary common cold? Not impressive. Okay. You know, what do Azerbaijani people and people from the most of post-Soviet Union countries do when they have health problems? They are spending hours Googling their symptoms, calling their friends, asking neighbors, and even posting on Facebook to get medical advice. For several years, we've been managing the largest Azerbaijani medical community, and we receive tens of questions on a daily basis. We found one serious gap in our healthcare system. Since we do not have general practitioner culture, it's very hard for people to figure out which doctor to address their health problems. And this is not just us, this is the case for the most of post-Soviet Union countries. And now, I want to introduce you a group of doctors who made impossible things possible. I'm very proud to have a person in my team who stands behind implementing electronic prescriptions in a whole country, and the person who built that largest Azerbaijani medical community. And me, of course, yes, I'm also a doctor with over than 8 years of experience in health insurance. Also, I won Global Women Tech Startup Award. Okay, so what does Icheck do? Icheck reduces the path between the pain and diagnosis. Icheck is a digital family doctor, just 5 steps to get your health roadmap. Our app allows you to choose the part of your body that's troubling you, select your symptoms, and get most probable causes of your problem. Additionally, you'll get some recommendations. For instance, you need some blood tests or MRI or something. And the most important part, you'll receive precise doctors who may assist you with your problem, with an ability to book an appointment with them online or offline, and of course obtain prescription. So, the market size is huge. Just in Azerbaijan, we will be able to target clinics, hospitals, and doctors with the budget over than 30 million yearly. But how do we earn? We found a way to monetize our Facebook community. We earn from doctors, clinics, and hospitals. App is currently free for users, except consultations, of course. It's premium model for doctors with annual subscription. What has been done so far? Just with one post in our community, we managed to onboard 120 doctors, and 1K users downloaded the app. Also, we have full support of the largest Azerbaijani holding and the largest insurance company under that holding and their medical data. Our next steps is to make an app tailored per each user, so make it personalized, and to move to other markets that have the same challenges as we do. Yes, for the Icheck and for the potential investors, 150K is an amount that enables an opportunity to enter blue ocean market with an empty niche. So, thank you for your time. Yeah.
Thank you, Leila. Okay. So right now we change again the country. So we go from Azerbaijan to Norway, but we still stay in the health field. So I would like to say to Pluma team to come on the stage. Maria and Mariana.
Pluma, empowering neurodivergent independence. Neurodivergent individuals struggle to find support for daily tasks. Professionals may misunderstand those struggles, and neurodivergent individuals fear discrimination when they disclose their diagnosis. We're a team of 2 neurodivergent individuals. I'm Maria. I have experience in neuroscience, marketing, and AI, and this is Mariana, who has more than 20 years working with autistic individuals. We also have a team of 2 advisors who help us when it comes to our digital transformation strategy. And this is Matthew helping us with our UK expansion strategy. When it comes to this will be yours.
For us, Pluma is a personal project. And in our team, 2 are late diagnosed, having living most of their life with a mask, whilst others are poorly understood by society because of difference in communications. That's why we support the social model of disability. That means that the environment needs to adapt for us and not the other way around.
Our solution is a component of 3 things: a network of professionals and neurodivergent individuals, qualified and trained professionals that we actually do the training, and the third bit is that we have built the recommendation system with AI to best perfect this network of professionals and neurodivergent individuals.
And that is our message. Connecting.
Yeah. You can collaborate, you can match with other people, And you can also find your best experts based on our recommendation system. When it comes to our system, the way that it works is a neurodivergent individual will come with a problem that can be, I have a lot of debt. We will provide an automatic solution that will also help us to our recommendation system. This is based on consent. If you want to share your problem with the arena, it's your decision. The arena is to collaborate. When it comes to even if you want to help actually get an expert, this will feed to a recommendation system, but it's your choice. And if no, it might be that your profile will be matched with other people depending on who you are, not just your problem. And then the last step is that you will be recommended your problem based on this.
Problem gives training for professionals too. And they get a certificate when completed.
When it comes to our competitors, the difference is that we don't just provide psychologists, we provide experts from accountants to lawyers or even a shop assistant. And we train them to be inclusive. Plus also we mainly are targeting the neurodivergent community. Our market is based on the neurodiversity of the world, which is 20%, plus also on the growth of our possible competitors. So we have estimated the 77 million market size of SOM.
So that we have 3 goals. Drive monthly growth, be the go-to platform for neurodivergent adults, and reduce stigma.
Our consumers are too, either professionals or the neurodivergent consumers. The reason why is that we are a B2B2C company. The way that we are going to target the professionals is either to organic collaborations, targeted marketing, and set this for them, training as the problem training, and also monitoring that. When it comes to the neurodivergents, they are either 20 to 35, and they are in transition. The reason why we're targeting them is because they lack resources, they lack the knowledge, and they also are struggling with independence right now. Mm-hmm. Plus is also, the way we're gonna target them is through either Freshers Week, because we're mainly gonna be in the UK, or also through a free trial. But also, the way we're gonna retain them is actually through our recommendation system, the community that built up, and also trying to give them tools. Our subscription is, and also the certification is our main sort of revenue. And we have a subscription of $10 for both the professionals or the consumers, plus also a one-time certification or a subscription for the professionals. Plus, we are right now in talks with the NHS because they have a problem with 50,000 pre-diagnosed neurodivergents that are right now waiting for a diagnosis, and they may wait for 5 years right now. So when it comes to us, we mainly have social media reach, but we also have 48 users, 10 professionals are right now using the apps, and also we have a testing group that is waiting for being in that group. We have a lot of outreach when it comes to TikTok, and we're asking for a $500K for 10% based on our 18 months of revenue, which is 7.7, and we have already estimated our expenses and also our cost of goods.
And since October, we grew a lot. And now we are partnering at the UK.
Try us.
Okay, and now we move in another business that is not cheap, even if the name looks like, but is in B2B sales. So I want to say welcome to Sales Yes.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Eleonora, CEO and co-founder of Sales Yes. And I would like to start with a simple question. Have you ever felt like finding the perfect match for your business is like finding a needle in a haystack? I totally feel you. In fact, how long do you take to identify, find, and engage your ideal target, ideal buyer persona? For salespeople like me, it takes a lot of time. And after this time, in any case, it's very difficult to talk to the proper person. So with this incredible team who has cross-functional skills starting from sales, marketing, legal, PR, and of course the technical part, we have solved this common problem. And guess what? It's called Sales. So let's imagine a platform where you are able to profile your ideal buyer persona thanks to the support of the artificial intelligence, and also create a direct matchmaking through LinkedIn based on what they publish and what their interests are. So these allow also to create very customized scripts to each one of them. And let's also consider that after 3 months of work, we have finally launched our very first mockup. So now it's visible on our website, so you're able to see how Sales works. And let's also consider about the market. What about the market? Here we have an explosive combination between AI market and prospecting platforms on LinkedIn. And the market is huge and it's increasing a lot. And what about our competitors? Of course we have competitors, but they act more like bots in the sense that they give you like list of leads, and they automatize the connection. But what happens? At the end of the day, you spend again a lot of time just to send like a lot of cold messages, and you hope at the end of the day to find maybe one or couple interested in your solution. Here we want to go straight directly to the point and create really authentic and well-targeted connections. Our business model is a SaaS based on monthly and annual subscription, and our target is B2B, starting from freelancer up to middle and huge corporates. But why should you invest in sales? Yes. Apart from all I've already said to you, it's also because we are forecasting at least a 3-fold increase every single year. And let's also consider that after more than 150 interviews and just after a couple of days since the launch of our mockup, more than 20 companies are already in our waiting list. So basically the interest is real and it's in line with our roadmap, who has started thanks to AIvolution and Startupbootcamp, and right now we are looking for new funds to really develop this idea, first in Italy, then in Europe, and finally internationally. No search for needles anymore. Say yes to Sales.
Okay, so you see the first 5 companies of the day, but before continue to go to the next, the 6th one, I would like to say to Marco Ghilardi, that is a special guest, to come to the stage and to describe the main trends and his experience in the AI. He's an AI specialist, but I don't want to do some spoiler on who he is, so he presents himself and he will explain like the main trends in the AI that is coming. So stage is yours, Marco.
Thank you. Hello everyone. It's great to be here. I was born in Modena, so very close. But for the last probably 15, 20 years, I've not been in the city. More to the middle? Okay, great. So it's great to be back, and it's also great to see that there is this much energy. Having spoken with Matteo and the rest of the team, it's really nice to see that there is like innovation and like many companies from all over the world are coming to Italy. In my case, I have been based in the UK for the last 10 years almost, and I went there to study originally, and then I stayed and I worked there, and I ended up opening my own company, so Quasi Science, and we specialized in building all sorts of different technologies, and I might show some stuff later. But today I really wanted to sort of like give my 2 cents on what's happening with AI, maybe like a brief history of the last few years, where we are today, what people are thinking in terms of investments, in terms of new sort of like technologies coming up, like research trends, and a little bit about regulation, but I'll try not to make that too boring. Okay, so let's jump straight in. I've already said something about myself, so I won't bother that much. So I'm an engineer by trade. I worked in Formula One for 5 years and a little bit extra, doing all sorts of things from aerodynamics to mathematical modeling for the cars. And today, I mostly, although I am, let's say, the CEO, I still drive the company from a technical point of view, together with some incredibly talented engineers, and we do collaborate with research centers, universities, etc., etc. So our sort of understanding of the space is that if you want to build a company that is, deeply rooted in tech, you really need to have skills in different fields, right? So you need to have automation that is able to take your data and make it AI ready. You need to have a clear idea of where AI is a feasible use case, or where you might want to use some classical statistical techniques or numerical methods to get to the solution faster. So this is a little bit of what we do. And so diving into the general trends, I wanted to start with a sort of summary of how did we get here, and where is the hype coming from the point of view of AI and latest technologies. So everything really started during the pandemic, as I'm sure all of you know. The governments had to react to this unprecedented pandemic, at least in recent times, and they lowered the rates, and they sort of gave money to everyone, and this created a market where people were starting to behave in a different way with money, and sort of were more open to risk taking. So during I can't remember exactly the statistics in the UK, but during the lockdowns, there was a huge number of startups being open because people were at home with nothing to do, a little bit more money in their pockets, and they decided to launch companies. And if people did that, basically investment funds were doing the same thing from their end of the table. And so they were investing in more risky ventures because obviously the cost of money was being lowered. And at the same time, the same thing happened in companies. They had the cost of investing in new technologies was much lower than it is today, unfortunately. And so we had lots of innovation in hardware, software. So that one from NVIDIA is a chip for autonomous driving. But what was really pivotal was the creation of some technologies that really popularized, the AI for basically everyone. So, we see ChatGPT, we see coding platforms that, platforms that make it very easy to exchange data sets, exchange models, exchange experience as well, like Hugging Face. And now, unfortunately, things are changing. Well, fortunately, I would say things are changing a little bit, and sort of people are starting to be more risk averse. So maybe if you're a startup going around and sort of presenting your product, you kind of need to be aware that as well the way you're presenting yourselves needs to change a little bit from maybe what it was a couple of years ago. And just a few things that I thought were really interesting as I was preparing this deck. I looked at predictions from Statista, which is a big company that produces intelligence available online. So in 2023, so just basically 1 year ago, they estimated that the market for AI in 2030 would be 2 trillion. This year, I went back on the site, looked at the number, and it was much lower. So, you know, like these kind of things are getting revised all the time, and as well, like, I think is an important metric to keep in mind. This article there on the top right, I started to sort of, was, you know, just published like a month ago, was heavily debated, like in the communities, and it was basically an interview and a conversation between different bankers, published on Goldman Sachs website. And the question was, all these investments that are going into the space, like, what are we thinking? Are they, you know, are they going to pay out? Are they not going to pay out? But like, what's interesting to me is that this discussion, although it ended up on in a positive note, like, is the first time that anyone asked that question, like 4 years into the investment cycles. So, so what I want to sort of like say is that definitely this year, like, execution on a lot of these sort of initiatives, innovation initiatives, is becoming the key factor. Another few statistics that I was able to get my hands on were basically costs of AI, especially when it comes to creating a new product or a new market. The initial cost of development by most businesses are underrated by a large margin. So according to those statistics I've seen, AI is 5 to 10 times more expensive than people think when they actually start the project. Of course, these statistics come from like very big companies that are not as nimble as like small startups, but you know, is worth taking into account, especially if you plan to create something new that like is not being up there, or if you basically want to develop an entire new market, like you're going to face some serious costs. In terms of compute and software and platforms, these costs are going to be like really important, especially when you get to a certain scale, and they are like extremely, and you need to be extremely careful with your budget there. So a quick one was like I'm doing a project now where I need to have a very large amount of data access, like saved in a way that is very fast to access to. So the difference between having data stored in that way that is critical for me to basically deploy an application is almost 100 times more expensive than traditional ways of storing that data, like in cold storage or like object storage. So everything down to the cost of like memory for AI is like much higher than people expect. And then we'll see more ethical sort of aspects and regulation aspects coming a bit later. But the big focus is definitely on like explainability, transparency, and risk management, which is kind of like a hidden cost for now, but in the next few years it will grow. From a research point of view, I throw this slide in there because I love the technical aspects of this, like technical challenges. I appreciate that, like for many people, like this won't matter much, but effectively, these are sort of like the trends that I'm seeing discussed a lot in the space. And this picture over there kind of like shows that, sometimes you can get like to basically the same results, but like using very different methods. And, normally the further down you go to the like down and right-hand side, also the cost of developing and maintaining these models goes up. But for some use cases, the further down you go, the less transparent and the transparent and like and more problematic it becomes to basically explain the results that you're getting. So I like one of my friends wrote a book about this exact like point, and he was saying that like if you are an hospital, you don't want to go any lower than this on this line, and if you are doing some digital marketing, you might want to be there. And why did he say that? Because basically the cost of getting one prediction wrong, is very different in the two cases. So you might want to decide where, like, very carefully where you sort of like, place yourself. All right, so let's go into like regulations. Am I doing well with time? Yeah, good. Okay, so you might know about the AI Act, which was recently sort of a big change that is sort of coming to eat everyone, like in the European Union. I've read the document, and I must admit, like, I was surprised in many ways, because I think that the motivation were really good and really well argumented, and as well, I think they were very brave in sort of like the decision and the definitions that they made of what's AI. So if we look at exactly what the definition is, they talk about a machine-based system with a certain degree of autonomy, unspecified degree of autonomy, and then they talk about something that takes input and produces output, which is basically everything, and then they talk about a certain level of adaptiveness. This is clearly something that like includes a lot more things that are not just AI, and so like I think is going to have like a very important and interesting impacts, down the line, and I had a conversation with another friend that works in a big auto manufacturer, and he works on all these algorithms that help you brake in time or help you, avoid slipping when you are driving in the wet. These systems also do have a certain degree of that, although there is no AI involved. So they will also see probably the cost of compliance in some sense, like going up. This is not going to apply to everything. It only applies to things that you sell to other people. So you're still free to do whatever you like if it's within the remit of your home, of your business. Is just to protect the basically general public from unwarranted risks. Key points really is like the division of risk tiers. So there are like some uses that starting from basically February next year will be completely banned. So if you think about doing anything there, you might want to like start developing really fast and then move your company outside the European Union. Then there are high risk areas, and this is going to be like pretty interesting because it's going to be a big bucket. So anything that involves data that comes from people, and anything that involves you making a decision based on features or particular characteristics of a person will end up in this high risk area. So for instance, like classically, like there is a well-known example about credit rating for people. So like anything in that area will end up there. Then there are things like chatbots. Chatbots of any kind will probably end up in here, depending on how much data on people you want to use. And one key factor is that like you will have obligation of information, which is going to make a difference, right? Because if you want to show that you are looking after your customer and you put an AI chatbot on the website, you will also have to say that that's an AI chatbot. Not every company does that yet. So that's kind of like, quite important because I think it changes the taste of a lot of the solutions that I've seen developed recently. And in this category, like a business as usual, you are probably going to see like a lot of the classic recommendation algorithms, spam filters, and the like. So this is things that like the European Union doesn't feel create a risk, or they are not new enough to, to be radically different, unless you start then using data from people. Then in that case, you sort of like move up really fast, right? And then there is a special class, which is basically the remit of everyone that works with, classic foundational models, whether it's images, whether it's, language, and they will have particular hoops to jump through. And if you think that you can sort of like locate yourself outside the European Union and then still being able to sell, think again, you won't be able to do that. Fines for these things are pretty high and depend on the band where your company sits. I think they are saying up to 7% of the yearly revenue, so like a big amount. And then on the other column, you'll see like a few of these basically requirements that your company will have straight for every use case. So you don't have necessarily to do all of those for all of the AI that you have in-house, but at different risk levels will have different requirements. So you need to basically go talk to experts and check exactly what the regulations say. So in conclusion, I sort of like try to come up with a few ideas, like maybe a few take-home messages when it comes to, like these new regulations that are coming up. And I sort of like try to boil them down. I think most important change that companies need to do now is start training the people. Training the people to recognize where AI is used. The new regulations specify that not just people that sell or develop the models are going to be falling under the regulation, but also intermediary companies and companies that use this as a, say, third-party service. So it's important that people realize what tools they use in their daily work, and that there is a sort of like internal audit of where AI is used in the business and for what purpose, and are all of these uses compliant. Then in terms of governance, how do we sort of like think about including all of these extra tasks in the daily operation of the business? That's really the question. And I think, having sort of like worked with different organizations, I think the most important and the easiest way to deal with that is probably to look at the internal governance for other things, like it could be what GDPR structures does your company have, or what type of rules do you have for like your finance department and your compliance teams, and just add on top of that, or maybe mirror that sort of functional sort of like group to then do also the AI side. I think it is going to be the easiest way to integrate that in your company. I think it's important to include developers in these discussions. Far too frequently, this is some sort of like, this feels like business very much, in the sense that, like, yes, there is a risk management approach where a use case depends on like, the potential ROI, and that's not necessarily where a developer like me maybe should spend their time. But the truth is that if you have anyone in-house that is supposed to like produce something, they need to know what the rules are, and they need to know that you want them to respect those rules. And if that conversation is clear, and if everyone is sitting at the table, like good developers should be able to basically make sure that you are, like, if we look at the risk hierarchy, like as low as you can, basically. and you want to do that very early on because we discussed about the cost and the hidden cost of this. And yeah, so like, well, this is it for me. Unless you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Marco. Okay, now we move back to the startup, a new spot, and we start with the company that want to revolutionize the live music streaming with NFTs and blockchain. So I want to say to Filippo, to Lear, to come on the stage. An applause to Filippo.
Okay. Hi, everyone. With a raise of hands, how many of you loves going to a concert? Okay, yeah, we have already something in common. I personally love going to concert, and I've been to 3 concerts this year, but what is the best part of it? Is the fact that each concert is a unique experience, and every experience generates a memory. How would it be to relive this memory? And this is what Lear was created for. Lear is a marketplace for live music recording using NFTs. But we didn't start from this. We start from a completely different idea. We created a tool for artists in order to better monetize from their audience. And here artists were releasing exclusive songs in a limited edition format, and fans could collect them. But as you can see, this number weren't enough. And so, but we learned something, and that's the most important thing. We learned 2 key points. The first thing is the fact artists are unwilling to make exclusive releases. And the second one is the fact that they are currently not exploiting their live performance recordings. And so a question came to our mind. But do people care about re-listening to the audio recording of a concert they attended to? We tried a smoke test. We were able to get more than 2,500 clicks on it. Those clicks, between those clicks, we got more than 300 users who decided to subscribe to our early access service. And between those 300 users, there are already 100 users who are willing to pay more than €5 for the specific live recording they want to have. And this was done in just 2 weeks. And we were able to fully understand that there is a strong demand for it. And right now we're talking with different concert organizations in order to make partnership with them. We were also able to reconcile 2 brothers. And yes, they started touring back together just to test our solution. And yes, I'm kidding, obviously. But this is the potential, and it's where we're gonna get. We're looking for a 200K pre-seed round in order to be able to amplify the number of partnerships that we are dealing with and to be ready for the concert summer season. Our team is composed by me. I have a master degree in management engineering. I am a guitar player, by Gian Maria, who is a next senior data scientist at EY, and by Lorenzo, who is a graphic designer and also a singer. And if you want to test what we're capable of, here, one of our artists decided to create a limited edition tracks just for you that you can freely redeem.
Thank you very much, Filippo. And right now we completely change the industry and we go to AI applied to financial services and compliance. So I want to say Gregor to come on the stage and present Epson. An applause for Gregor.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are Epson, as it says on the screen. And Epson consists of 2 founders. It's my amazing founder, Uroš, who's sitting in the background. He is a developer with more than 10 years of experience. And I have the equivalent amount of experience doing different financial things for like banks, insurance companies, and funds. And probably the most frustrated part of my job is the fact that very small errors in data or in computation can be very disastrous for a financial company. The problem is that it's not always our data. Most of the time, it's generated by third parties, and they send it for a fee to the bank or an insurance company. Although banks pay for this, they are ultimately also responsible for the secureness of the data. And when I worked in that industry, we never had neither the time nor the tools to do any of that. What we've created is an automated validation framework that makes sure that every piece of data, every calculation is correct. And using our solution, you can mitigate the risk of a human error without having to hire more people to look into it. Because using Epson, it's as easy as reviewing a one-pager and you're done. And even when errors do arise, we interface with the vendor, making sure that they implement a fix and in the right way. And this is especially important in the Italian market because we saw very big vendors sending out really bad data for years to companies. We operate in a fairly big market. European risk management market is about 5 billion, growing about 19% year over year. And it exists because companies already spend more than 10% of their operating income on different validation tasks. And despite of this, they had to pay more than 100 million in fines in Europe due to reporting error. And even executives were fined for up to $250,000. We are unique because we offer validation that is both independent of the vendor and automated. Our business model is software as a service, which allows us to quickly go into a company, do a short integration, and deliver value for a long period of time without necessary long time commitments from our clients. Our first product, works on the scenarios. So economic or ESG scenarios are one of the key input inside banks and insurance companies. And using this product, we already have traction. We have paying customers who provide us feedback. So a typical user of our platform would expect to save about 2 days per month per scenario set, and maybe even more importantly, significantly improve their vendor management. We have an ambitious roadmap that consists of a lot of internal integration, but also expansion to our second market, which is the UK. We are luckily in a position where we don't need to raise external funds. However, if you know a bank, an insurance company, or a fund, please get us in touch, because what we do is really, really important, and this person you have in mind might be inadvertently putting his own job, risking his own job by sending out data that is false. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gregor, for the pitch. And right now we move to another business and another country. So from Netherlands, there will be Mick that will present his idea of networking of Bisx through AI. An applause to Mick.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mick, and I'm the founder of Bisx. When Bill Gates needs access to knowledge, people, or resources, he calls someone, he snaps his fingers, and he gets it done. For us, that takes a lot of time, money, and effort. Bisx changes that by connecting you to anyone for anything, anywhere, in minutes, using your phone. I'm a software engineer. I taught myself how to code, but I could never figure out how to build a meaningful network. I would go to networking events like Future Expo, hosted by Startupbootcamp, and I'd meet all kinds of people that I never ended up working with. That changed through my partners. Took me 5 years as their close friend to figure out that they were the perfect people for me to be in business with. I just never asked them the right questions. Or better yet, I did not have access to the right information about them, despite having them on every social media. That's our secret sauce. We ask you who you are, what you're good at, and what you're looking for, and we find the perfect match for you. We make it as easy as riding a bicycle. Wait, that's for Dutch people. We make it as easy as boiling pasta. After matching, we let you filter and transact with all of your contacts. With Bisx, you get to monetize the supply and demand of everybody in your network. And you gain insight into your market value. So far, we've launched our app on iOS and Android, on which we onboarded over 100 users. And we're growing at a rate of 30% every month, with barely any advertising. And so we expanded our team with our first marketeer to help us establish our brand, and 3 senior advisors, all experts in social networking. And since our launch in July, we have signed our first institutional customer on a 10K annual contract, and we're negotiating with 2 more. Our next steps and our primary revenue growth will come from those organizations by offering them a private community within Bisx. That will allow us to create a referral program in which you can invite your peers, and by doing so gain access to their network as we prioritize matching based on mutual connections. Our largest returns will come from integrating a payment solution with which you can conduct business on the very platform where you gained access to anything you were looking for. And by doing so, we generate a lot of valuable data on the supply and demand of various markets, data that can be sold to governments or multinational companies. You and I know that right now LinkedIn is the go-to platform for professionals, but it primarily focuses on historical data. You learn about what people have done, not what they want to do in the future. Missing the mark on actionable and real-time networking. Bisx fills that gap by targeting professionals that actively seek more meaningful connections and are frustrated by the limitations of platforms like LinkedIn by connecting them with tangible opportunities. To accelerate our growth, we're seeking an investment of 300K, which will be allocated towards our product development, to enhance our matching and enabling transactions, our user acquisition through targeted marketing, and our working capital to ensure that we maintain our momentum. With Bisx, we want to level the playing field, democratizing access so that anyone, no matter how much of an introverted coding nerd you are, can find access to anything, anywhere, at any time. Thank you for listening. If you're interested, you can reach me here or at bisx.app. If you have any questions, let's grab a coffee after this, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Mick. And right now we are changing again, and we go to UK, and a company that want to use Bitcoin people, Bitcoin, not Bitcoin people, Bitcoin to send to multiple accounts. So I want to come to the stage, David. An applause to David, please. That you will say what is BTC Sender. So Dave, stage is yours.
Cool. Thank you, Alberto. So, yeah, great to meet you, everyone. My name's David, based in the UK, and today we're presenting a new finance toolkit for Bitcoin. Now, I've been in the space since 2015 with multiple dApp launches. I'm joined by my CTO, Shivam, who's a full-stack developer specializing in blockchain, and our team member, Georgina, helps us keep everything on track with a chaotic startup. We also have 4 fantastic mentors, which are introduced through the AI Startup program. And as a team, we've also secured multiple grants in the industry as well. ranging from the M-Stable Grants Program, Aave Grants DAO, and we were also thrilled to be the winners of the Tron 2021 Global DeFi Hackathon. So today we're presenting BTC Sender, and to explain the problem, we'd like you to meet Eric. So Eric runs a blockchain-based business and conducts a payroll to his 20 members of staff on a monthly basis. He also distributes tokens to his qualifying customers on a weekly basis and markets his product through airdrop campaigns. Now, the problem that Eric faces is, for every transaction he makes, there's a 3-step process. He has to copy the employee's address from a spreadsheet, paste into a wallet, such as MetaMask, and input the amount and approve the transaction. Now, as you can imagine, this creates lots of room for error. So manual transactions are repetitive and time-consuming. The manual process can create mistakes, and obviously one wrong zero in blockchain is a problem which you can't reverse. And it's also high on network fees for multiple transactions. The solution for this is BTC Sender, a revolutionary new tool in Bitcoin, which allows you to bulk send transactions from a CSV file, verify the addresses you're sending to with our address verification tool, and also perform KYC and AML checks through the BTC Sender platform. Now, today we're going to give you a quick product demonstration to show you just how easy this can be. So for Eric to send 200 payments to his 200 customers, he simply needs to jump on the BTC Sender platform, connect his wallet, and select the token he wants to send from the drop-down menu. He then needs to upload or drag and drop the CSV file with addresses in column A, values in column B. The next step will present Eric a summary of exactly what he's going to send. So the number of addresses, the total tokens that are going to be sent, and the cost of the operation. Once Eric clicks next, we're done. Eric's just sent 200 payments in a simple 3-step process using BTC Sender. Now, the great thing is, as regulatory compliance becomes heavier for the blockchain industry, we've also included a full KYC AML process. So KYC, know your customer, AML, anti-money laundering, means that Eric can do the transactions fully confident that they're compliant in his jurisdiction. Now, we have 2 key features for BTC Sender, which is the sender side we've just demonstrated, and also divide, where you can create a single address which has pre-allocated shareholdings to who's going to receive what percentage of that transaction. Now, these have some fantastic use cases such as payroll and profit share on the send side, and for divide, royalties, charity donations, or company fund allocations, just to name a few. We've had a massive boom in Bitcoin in the last 24 months with layer 2 tokens and NFTs, and BTC Sender is going to be integrating these to capitalize on this recent growth. Now, we've got some fantastic unique insight for the product. So we actually conducted over 50 interviews with business owners, target customers, and key stakeholders. And the great takeaways for us were that everybody understood the problem, and 90% of the people we spoke to said they would instantly switch to a solution that effectively solved this problem. In terms of competitor analysis, we don't actually have any competitors on the Bitcoin blockchain at the moment at all, and our nearest competitor can be found on Ethereum through multisender.app. Now, the monthly transaction volume for multisender.app is around $33 million per month, and their monthly fee earnings are just over 1 million. So this presents huge demand and opportunities on the Bitcoin chain. So in order to achieve our goals, today we're looking to secure 350,000 euros at a $1.75 million valuation. And this is going to help us fund the audit, legal, and compliance side of the growth, as well as providing us a 12-month runway and marketing budget to launch the platform. We've also been very lucky to secure a premium domain, BTC Sender, which, as some of you will know, securing high-quality Bitcoin domains currently is very difficult. So thank you very much for your time today, and we'd like you to join us on making transactions easier with Bitcoin.
Great, David. Congrats, and very good English. But did you learn English through an app or your mother tongue? No, I'm joking. But right now, we will have a startup that wants to revolutionize the way to learn language, especially English, starting from IELTS test. So I want to say to William to come on the stage and present Pathway English. An applause to William.
So, Welcome everybody. My name is William Lattanzie and I am the CEO and co-founder of Pathway. Today, I want to start with a quick question. Do you ever had to prepare for an exam or a certification without the right support? I think everybody has felt this problem, so usually in the market we have two kinds of solutions. Teacher-side oriented and also self-study oriented. We know how self-study can be affordable, it's flexible, but it lacks of personalizations and feedback. On the other side, we have private teachers. Yeah, of course, private teacher can provide you suggestions, feedback, but they are a bit time-consuming, you have to find one, and so on. And they can be really expensive. So we decided to create a new game-changing solution, a digital academy powered by AI, where students can get personalized feedback and suggestion not only from their correction or their exercises, but also from our AI tutor, which is designed to improve their learning pathways, their learning experience in the platform. We decided to test our solution starting with the IELTS certification. The IELTS certification is one of the most demanded certification in the world. It's fundamental for educational or working exchange. What we see, we started focusing on the AI writing correction. We started at the end of July, we opened to beta testers, and we saw that in just 2 months, we were able to obtain almost 200 beta testers to our platform, with an average rating for our AI feedback of 4.8 out of 5. That's for us demonstrate how they are enjoying our approach, demonstrate how our approach is working. The IELTS market, it's a pretty big market. It counts about 4 million people every year tries to take this exam. We decided to start with the Italian market, but of course we want to move to other markets in the future. We are now working to the full release of our solution. At the start of 2025, we are working on our B2B solution, and of course, at the end of the year, going abroad to other growth opportunities. Why us? Basically, we are working in the educational field from about 4 years now, and we have developed several educational platforms for our clients, but they are all on the traditional way. Why we are here today? We are here because we are looking for data for training our AI. Of course, in the education, we cannot have hallucinations, so we have to gather on-point data. We're looking for funds to accelerate our development, and we are looking for a commercial partnership to bring our solution to the market. Please feel free to reach out to us to deep dive on how we are reinventing the way of learning. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, William, and I want to say thanks to all the companies that were there and also all the audience, both the people that are here in Reggio Emilia and also the people that are connected remotely. I just encourage the people, especially for the one that is connected remotely, to vote and be in contact with our startup, and also if they have some doubts, they want deep dive, or even invest in the company, to use the QR code and contact directly the founder. Or if you have some doubts or you want to get in contact, you can reach also me or all the SBC team. So the first demo day of AIvolution is over. I want to say thank you to all the people also here in Reggio Emilia, an applause. To the people that is connected remotely, also an applause to them. And also a tremendous applause to all the startups that take part in this edition. Great job. And right now, I want to say to all the startups to come on the stage. Come guys, come! And also the team of Startupbootcamp that makes this possible. And also the corporate partner Credem. We will take a picture all together to remember this awesome day. And I don't know if Filippo wants to create an NFT of the event, of the photo. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Please, guys. I will stay down. I will stay there. So the second line. Also you, Marco, come. Okay. AIvolution. Woo! Okay. So an applause to everybody. And right now, for the people that are here in Reggio Emilia, it's aperitivo time. So there is a network session in which you can meet the startup, and yeah, that's done. So congrats and thank you, everybody.